Hello and welcome back to Rooted in the Seasons, where ancient wisdom meets modern life with a strong cup of tea and practical tools for real busy women. I'm Katja Patel, Ayurvedic diet and lifestyle educator, yoga teacher, and teacher mentor. I help women find more calm and clarity through small daily rituals, seasonal rhythm, and timeless wisdom that actually fits into real life. This podcast is a part of a wider body of work I offer, including my course, Stress Less, Live More, where we explore rhythm, nervous system support, and daily practices in a deeper, more structured way. If you're listening while you're walking, cooking, driving, or just taking a quiet moment for yourself, you're very welcome here. Today, I want to talk about something many people experience, but don't always have the language for: self-doubt. And not the loud, dramatic kind, but the quieter version that shows up as hesitation, as second guessing, or not quite trusting yourself, even when things look fine on the outside. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. This episode is for you if you've ever thought, why does this keep coming back, even though you've already worked on yourself in so many ways? You don't need to change anything right now. Just stay with me here. Self-doubt doesn't usually arrive all at once. It often sneaks up quietly, especially when we're tired, under pressure, or standing at the edge of something new. For many of us, it's not a one-off experience. It's a pattern of the mind. And this is where yoga philosophy becomes incredibly helpful. Not because it tells us what to fix, but because it helps us understand the terrain where we're moving through. My teacher, Sri Guruji Balaji, used to say that doubt is the number one obstacle on the path of progress. And when I first heard that, I sounded a bit dramatic to me. But I have been on the self-doubt team for as long as I can remember. Not good enough, not intelligent enough, not enough in whatever form it decided to take. And over time, I began to see what he meant. Now, here's something interesting. We often think yoga is mainly about the body, but in practice, it works deeply on the mind. Postures are the vehicle. What we're really training is steadiness, patience, and resilience. Let me give you an example. Many people see headstands as intimidating, and it can be. But working towards it isn't just about strength. It's about consistency, trust, and staying in the process. The first time you lift your legs, something shifts internally. You think, wow, I can do this. Maybe I can do other things too. And this doesn't have to be about headstand. It might be speaking up, making a decision, changing a habit. The process matters more than the outcome, because those skills are transferable and it works both ways. If we constantly tell ourselves, I can't, and never even begin, that attitude quietly spreads into other areas of our life too. This brings us to Patanjali. And before we go any further, I want to say something important. Patanjali is often misunderstood as being rigid or prescriptive, but that's actually not what he's doing. The Yoga Sutras describe the landscape of the mind and then offer different paths through it. Think of the Yoga Sutras as a map, not a set of rules. The Yoga Sutra, chapter 130, doubt is listed as one of the disturbances that unsettle the mind. And what's striking is how recognizable the effects are. Patanjali describes distress, despair, physical tension, disturbed breathing. This isn't abstract. It's deeply human. And if you've ever felt stuck watching others move forward while you hesitate, you'll recognize this experience. Let me pause here for a moment. If you drifted off slightly, here's the essence so far. Self-doubt is not a personal failure. It's a recurring pattern of the mind, and yoga doesn't ask us to eliminate it, but to understand and work with it. What I love about Patanjali and his approach is that it doesn't offer just one solution. Patanjali offers options. Focus, kindness, the breath, sense perception, inspiration, rest. And then almost generously, he says, if none of these resonate, just choose anything that uplifts you. You don't need to remember all of these. Just notice which one feels accessible. It's not about doing more. It's about choosing one steady anchor. And this is where resilience comes in. Patterns don't disappear just because we have seen them once. Self-doubt will return in different forms at different stages of life. That doesn't mean that we are back at the beginning. Building a resilient mind is like building a strong immune system. Challenges still arise, but recovery is quicker and the impact is softer. Consistency matters more than intensity. Rhythm matters more than effort. And this is why ongoing practice is so important. If you're drawn to the idea of working with patterns rather than fighting them, you may enjoy my Stress Less Creating Daily Rhythm workshop. It's an exploration of how rhythm, repetition, and simple daily anchors support the nervous system and help build resilience over time. It's a space to practice this together, and you'll find the link in the show notes. Let's land this gently. If you remember nothing else from today, remember this. Self-doubt is not something to conquer. It's something to recognize and then respond to it differently. You're not doing anything wrong, and you don't need to do all of this. Everything we touched on today, the examples, the sutras, the ideas, it's all written out in the blog post linked in the show notes. So you can always come back and read it again in your own time. Thank you so much for listening to Rooted in the Seasons. If you enjoyed the episode, you can subscribe or follow Rooted in the Seasons on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. That way, new episodes land automatically for you. If you like more support in between episodes, you can download my free guide, my 5 quick Ayurvedic fixes to move from scattered to steady, and join my Sunday Read newsletter. You'll find all relevant links, also the accompanying blog post in the show notes. And if anything in today's episode resonated, I genuinely love to hear from you. You can connect with me on Substack, or even better, send me an email. I always read and answer them. Until next time, stay rooted in the seasons. Bye-bye.